Do not leave your side scan range on auto. Some settings on your sounder are fine to leave on auto, but side scan range, if you don't change it, you're missing fish. It's the one side scan setting that I change every single trip, and if you learn how to use it properly, you'll start spotting schools, structure, bait more clearly and fishing way smarter. In this video, I'm going to walk you through what this setting does, how I adjust it, and how you can dial it in based on where and how you fish. I'm Nabil from My Fishing Coach. I've been fishing for over 30 years, and over the last decade, I've spent a lot of time, thousands of hours, learning how to use my sounder. I built an entire course to help anglers master their units. It's linked below if you'd like to have a look. But for now, let's focus on the number one setting I always adjust. Your side scan range is basically your zoom level. It's like Google Maps. Zoom too far out and you miss the details, and you're too close, you lose the big picture. Here's a rule that you can follow. Set your side scan range to 3 to 4 times the depth. So if you're in 10 meters or about 33 feet, set your range to 30 to 40 meters or around 100 to 140 feet. This gives you solid coverage without stretching the image or missing key details. And that's the starting point. You'll adjust up or down depending on what you're scanning, the depth, and how much detail you actually need. Let's say you're searching for big ground. You're looking for wrecks, reefs, bait balls, big schools of fish, something that's going to be obvious that when it's on the sounder, it stands out. This is when I'll increase my range as much as I can, sometimes out to 80 meters either side of the boat. Now this is because I'm not trying to get detail. I want to see as far away as I can to cover as much ground. And I know that what I'm looking for is big. I'm going to see it either way. Now, when I've adjusted my side scan range as far as I can go, sometimes you'll notice on the edges you'll get these dark spots. And that's where your transducer beam can no longer see. It can't see that far. And that's when you need to dial it back so that you make sure that your screen is giving you the most information you can without wasting space on that dark black part. So once you've found something good, let's say you've been driving around, you've picked up the school, the wreck, the reef, the structure, whatever it was you're looking for at your wider range. Now it's time to dial it back in and get in closer and get more detail. So this is when I'll drop my range to 20 or 30 meters, let's say 60 to 100 feet either side of the boat. And this is where your returns will start to get clearer and more useful for actually identifying what's going on. So now you'll start to see actual fish shadows, the edges of the structure, the gaps, the channels, isolated bait, all the little bits and pieces that you wouldn't otherwise see with the range maxed out. And this is essentially the difference between I think I see something and oh look, there they are, let's line up a cast. So this is where you get that detail and you get enough information to now make a decision on whether you fish, where you fish, do you drift past, all that sort of stuff. But now you've zoomed into that level, you can make that decision. So here's something most anglers miss. The deeper the water, the more range you can use effectively. This is because side scan, the beam spreads wider as it moves deeper. So you've got more room and more beam coverage. So in 20 to 30 meters of water, you can stretch your range out without killing the image. But in shallow water, let's say 2 to 5 meters deep, too much range will blur everything. And in that case, you might want to dial your range down to 15 or 20 meters, and that's plenty. That way your screen isn't condensed with too much information and you'll be able to get a good idea of what is actually going on. So, simple breakdown. Side scan range is critical to understand how to use it. Do not leave this setting on auto. Start with 3 to 4 times the depth. Increase your range if you're searching wide. Reduce your range to get more detail and adjust based on depth and whatever you're looking for. This setting alone can be the difference between catching nothing and marking fish confidently all day. And if you've never touched it before, make it the first thing you start adjusting. Do not leave your side scan range on auto. If this helped, give it a like, drop a comment and subscribe. If you're ready to get deeper, grab my free sounder cheat sheet below, or you can jump into the full course linked in the description. I'm Nabil and this is My Fishing Coach.